Hello, my name is Merv Rogers. I'm the Chief Coaching Officer for Coaching Out of the Box. And I wanted to walk through today what we call the CAP, the Credentialing Assessment Prep class is all about. At this stage, because you're taking this course, you've done a lot already. You will have completed some level of education, coach-specific training with us or with others, but nonetheless, you will have got a minimum number of hours that you need. This is where we are now, Credentialing Assessment CAP class. But understand that what we're preparing you for is at the very end of your journey. Once you have done all the 100 hours of coach experience, once you have been part of the Credentialing Success Program and generated that recording so that you can be assessed and passed by an ICF assessor for your coaching, once you've done all of those, then you will apply to the ICF, and then once you apply, you'll take this exam. You know, a coach once said the best way to get through this credentialing exam is to be the best coach you can be. And to be the best coach you can be is to emulate the 8 competencies that the ICF requires all of us to explore and deploy. Rule number 1 of coaching is you got to do the work. So we're going to be here to support you. There'll be tons of questions you have. You'll have a unique situation. What if I have this and what if I have that? All of that information we'll try to share with you, encourage you, inspire you, but it's up to you to go to the ICF if you have something unique. It's up to you to make sure that you've got all that you need. A little bit of a kind of under the covers about the credentialing exam. It's a tool that the ICF uses to measure the coaches and their knowledge and experience. And specifically, it's around code of ethics and their definition of coaching. So it really explores, are you thinking like the ICF? A lot of information we're going to share about the exam, how many questions there are. I understand that the questions aren't, do you know the ICF competency? The question is, here's the situation. Can you figure out what a coach would do, knowing all of the competencies that exist, that all the skills that you have? So ICF calls this situational judgmental items. And so that simply means a scenario, and you need to pick the best response and perhaps even the worst response for that given situation. What we are going to do, however, is make sure that you're grounded in the ICF competencies. There's a handout, there's some work. We're going to show you a video that they created, the ICF created around demystifying this exam, because the word exam just hypers everybody up. Online quizzes we'll give you, and we'll even give you a practice exam to get your feet wet, so to speak, right? This is our focus, though. 8 competencies, bringing those competencies home, making sure you understand how those competencies could be applied in real life situations. And it's examples like this. So here would be a scenario where you go through it from a class perspective, look at the scenario, and then decide which, would be appropriate. Now, we're going to tell you the competencies we're talking about here, because that's all part of the practice. In the exam, you won't get that. So we're, in case of, invoking awareness, what would you do? And of course, everyone on this knows that you'd ask that what balance means to them. You'll get to that, I'm sure. We'll also, though, give you some questions that look much like your ICF exam, right? And so they come from a different perspective, right? This would be an example of it. And they're going to ask you, given these given the scenario, these 4 possibilities of action, which one is the best action and which one is the worst action? And we're going to talk a lot about what that worst means, whether that means, least effective to the client, not aligned with the coaching competencies, all those kinds of things. So we're going to give you some insights around that. So you're going to get 2 types of scenarios that we're going to practice. This is a 6-week program, and so obviously you're going to practice them every week. We're going to give you the best practices that we've learned so far. We'll continue to update this as we learn, and we're hopefully going to leave you with all the resources you need to go to that exam once you get there, because it is a bit in the future, and that you can think and act like the ICF. I wish you great success. Let's get into the class, shall we?